If a president dies, falls ill, or can't perform as president for any other reason, does the vice president take over? If so, then when and how? It's a question Congress dragged its feet on answering for more than a century, but the assassination of President John F. Kennedy pushed them to answer. The 25th Amendment was ratified in 1967. It states that the current vice president will step into the top job if the current sitting president dies, resigns, or is removed from office. Before that, our government was kind of just winging it. In 1841, President William Henry Harrison died of pneumonia just a month after his inauguration. The National Constitution Center paints the time after as chaotic, with Congress trying to decide the process of succession and what powers Vice President John Tyler would have. That is, until Tyler took it upon himself to have a local judge administer the presidential oath of office for him. In the decades that followed, the Tyler precedent held up as a handful of other sitting presidents passed away and their number twos were sworn in. On November 22, 1963, mere hours after President Kennedy was killed, Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson was sworn in as president aboard Air Force One. The day was obviously tragic and chaotic, but the haphazard procedure of succession pointed to a major vulnerability. What would happen if a president temporarily fell ill, or if Congress felt they were unable to carry out their duties for some other reason? There were a lot of gray areas. It was like fixing a leaky pipe with a Band-Aid. A permanent solution was needed. An amendment to address the process of succession was spearheaded by Senator Estes Kefauver in the 1950s and reintroduced in 1963. Senator Birch Bayh continued the effort after Kefauver died from a heart attack. Johnson threw his support behind the amendment in 1965, and by that July, Congress had collectively agreed to pass what is now the 25th Amendment. The 25th Amendment also specifies how a vice presidential vacancy is filled, the process for designating a temporary acting president, and how the vice president and Congress would go about declaring a president unable to complete their duties and appointing a successor. Since its addition to the Constitution, the 25th Amendment has been invoked 6 times. Section 4, the part about the VP and Congress basically firing a sitting president, has never been used, but with the current threats to democracy being what they are, it's nice to know what's in our back pocket.